I love to make savory tarts when I'm entertaining, and store-bought puff pastry is a wonderful way to use a smart shortcut when you have a lot to do before your guests arrive. We have 3 really excellent recipes for puff pastry tarts in this brand new book, Martha Stewart's Appetizers. Lots of excellent recipes. The best part about making tarts is you can start with store-bought puff pastry like this one here. Look for all butter, that's very important. Much better flavor than those that use oils. I have 2 here in front of me. I have asparagus and Gruyere, and this is potato and rosemary. And the one I'm making now is harissa with goat cheese and fresh herbs. So roll the pastry out to a 10 by 16, and you should also have your oven preheated to 400 degrees. The store-bought puff pastry range in size anywhere from 11 ounces to a full pound per piece. For the trimming, a ruler is handy. You should have one. And it's best to score it first. So that's 10. And we want to have straight edges, so I'm going to mark on both sides. And then 16. Now for the trimming. And you'll want this onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. So I like to just take the edge of the dough up onto the rolling pin. You might see some excess flour there. Get that off of there. It's not useful to us anymore. Et voila. Now onto a parchment lined sheet tray. Then you can just start at the end closest to you and just unfurl it. Now, for the next step, we want to create a 1-inch border that's going to puff up around the center. So again, you'll want your ruler, and we're going to mark 1 inch inside. So that's 1 inch, and then again down here. And this is just our reference point so that when we line up the ruler, we have an exact 1-inch border like that. So I'm going to start with the longer side, and by scoring, we're just running the knife through the dough, but not all the way through the dough. So it's just a light mark. And then again on the top and bottom. Looking good so far. Now, before we put our harissa mixture on, you want to dock the dough inside the border. And what this does is it prevents the tart from puffing way up and then throwing your toppings everywhere. So for the base, the harissa that I mentioned earlier, that also gets diluted with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Harissa is a chili paste from North Africa, and it's made from sun-dried chilies, garlic, olive oil, and spices. So just stir together the olive oil and the harissa till it's evenly combined, and then brush it over the pastry inside the border. You want to keep the borders clean. You want to get it all out of there. Has that beautiful, vibrant red color, too. Spread this evenly to the edges of the border. You can also dilute tomato paste with olive oil if you want a tomato tart. And this goes into your oven for 15 minutes. This is only 5 minutes away from being ready to devour. One more step is putting goat cheese on, and then back into the oven for 5 minutes. It's just the time you need for the tart to finish cooking and the cheese to melt slightly into the pastry dough. And this is a 4-ounce log of goat cheese. That's it, back into the oven, 5 more minutes. This is just about ready to serve. Now we just want some fresh herbs on there. Flat leaf parsley and some mint also. If you have other herbs in your garden, you could certainly try those. Little thyme or oregano. And a sprinkling of flaky sea salt like Malden. And that is ready to eat. In addition to this puff pastry tart and the 2 variations you've seen today, there are over 200 more recipes in this book, including cocktails. So there's something for everyone in it. Check it out.